today we are going to have a topic called Social Media Foundations B2B and B2C. Just some housekeeping notes. We want to remind everyone to watch for the ISPA emails for future registration links. And the next meeting will be July 29th, and I'll give a little sneak peek of that at the end of our meeting today. Today we have Lauren McIntyre Gibson. She's been working in marketing for the last 10 years and is currently the event manager for ISPA, the yearly conference that they do. She spent her career developing and executing strategic marketing initiatives that deliver meaningful results for businesses and their customers. Today, she's going to bring another perspective on social media marketing for all of us fabricators. So welcome, Lauren.
Well, thank you, Lauren, for having me. It's a great opportunity to just kind of bring some tips, tricks, and recommendations to the group. So I am going to go ahead and get started. As Lauren mentioned, I have over a decade of marketing and event planning experience, and I plan ISFA's annual conference. It's my second one coming up this fall. So let's dive into it. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. All right. So today I'm going to cover social media in Canva at a 101 level. So let's go ahead and get started. And then outside of tips, tricks, and recommendations, you'll also have takeaways, and then you'll also have an opportunity at the end of the presentation to ask myself and Lauren any questions that you may have. All right, let's dive into it. All right. So as mentioned, social media in Canva 101, tips, tricks, key takeaways, and recommendation by me on behalf of ISFA. Why social media matters. Social media is very important. Some things that social media is important for is it showcases your craftsmanship, your quality of materials, work. It builds trust with homeowners, designers, and builders. It drives website traffic and quote requests. If you don't have a presence online, that can actually be a hindrance to your business down the road. So it's very important. I know as a consumer, first thing I do when I'm looking up a business is see if they have a website and see if they have a social media presence. Because I believe that also gives real time when it comes to like seeing different postings they may have, whether it's a product posting, customer recommendation, highlight, so forth. And then being able to highlight your materials, your unique materials and service. So those are things that social media is used for and is great to use for. Here's some things as service fabricators that you could post. You could post high quality photos and videos of your work. Before and after photos are great. So if you have a project or you have a product release, maybe some behind the scenes leading up to that release, or a before and after on a project, the starting and then ending. Also include close-up, full room views, any type of transformation. That's good for engagement, clicks, likes, comments, shares, and so forth. And then within your posting, if you have brand colors or logos and so forth within your company, you would want to use that within your posts or your templates in developing those. So for this group, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn are the best platforms to use. For Instagram and Facebook, really heavy on the community engagement as far as industry as well as customer base. So you would use reels, stories, and then you would tag locations, tag partners, tag anyone that may be involved in your post. It's recommended to post 3 to 4 times a week. with the current state of social media forever evolving, a lot of things still pertain to the algorithm. So the more that you post, the more that you will show up on people's feeds. You can highlight installs, tips, and any type of testimonials, whether when it comes to testimonials and tips, it can be tips from a customer, tips from a partner, testimonials from a partner, testimonials from a customer. And you can also, it may not actually be clips, but if you have an actual quote, you can turn those quotes into a form of an infographic, and then you can have content to use in the future, and you can develop a series. I've done that in previous association work. I have got testimonials from past attendees of events and created a series of literally just attendees enjoying their time at my event. And I was able to mix that into our content calendar. So again, I was able to develop that for future use. LinkedIn is really good to network with people within your industries, whether it is someone of the same role, same field, builders, designers. It's great to really network and connect with those people, whether it's adding them to your network, sending them a quick message, letting them know what you do, letting them know what you have coming up, and also letting them know what may be going on with your organization and how it may be beneficial for you guys to start some type of relationship as far as like become colleagues, perhaps future partners down the road. You can also share project spotlights and company news, and not even just your company news. Maybe you have someone in the industry that's doing well and you want to share their work. LinkedIn gives you an opportunity to do so. And then within sharing their posts, you're able to tap into their network because they're able to see your post now populates within their feed because their associate is tagged. So it's not just posting your own content with LinkedIn. LinkedIn is really good to share other people's or company spotlights as well as industry news. And then you can also, with Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn, you can also hone in on the time that you post. I know, for instance, on Wednesdays, it's best to post on LinkedIn between 1 to 4, and then from 6 to 8. And they also have something on LinkedIn now, well, within the last couple years, where if your LinkedIn profile is set up as a company page, you can actually, when you go in and schedule posts, you could see, like for instance, if I were to schedule a post and I'm based in the DC area, if I were to schedule a post for that geolocation, it will grade out if it's not a good time to post, and it will give me suggested times. Those suggested times become available. So I have found that helpful in posting and managing content for not only myself, but for my clients group. Here's some more content ideas. Project spotlights, again, is very important to showcase your work. Let people know about your company, how you set the bar, how you're different, how you're like. Just is really important to highlight projects. Any type of tips that you may have, maintenance, new tools that you're using, those sort of things. That's content. That's stuff that you can post on LinkedIn, do a short infographic for Instagram. Slab of the week, new material, something's coming out. If you have a collection that you're releasing, if you have something that, even if it's not coming out to maybe the following quarter or next year, you can do a countdown to that release. That draws engagement, that draws excitement, that has your audience tuned in. Then you could do behind the scenes, whether it's an installation, a shop tour, you're hosting your own event. That is something that really, I know for a fact, with organizations that I work with, that really draws engagement. People chat in about wanting to be involved or that they're involved. And then there are also a lot of times that outside of comments, people repost and reshare stuff like that. And then any type of testimonial, any highlight that you have from a client, again, that's when you can take a handwritten note, an email, and take that quote or paraphrase it and put it into some type of cool design or infographic. So some recommendations when it comes to social media. Create a monthly content calendar. Have this calendar be a mix of what may be going on with your company organization, what may be going on within the industry. So that's sharing industry news, articles, podcasts, clips, anything like that you would want to share. If you have a product that you want to do a weekly highlight or a monthly highlight of some type of product, you would build that into your calendar. Any type of highlighting of a partner, highlighting of an association, involvement, community involvement, that would all go into a content calendar. You might have something where every Wednesday, you might call it Wisdom Wednesday, where you drop a fabrication tip. And then so you would know, okay, there's 4 Wednesdays this month. That's what I'm going to drop in the content calendar and just kind of like build around that. So you would have consistent messaging and then some that you would just mix in to fill in. You could use Canva for branded graphics. I will talk more about Canva a little later on in the presentation. Be sure to engage with your community. It's very important to not only respond or reply to comments on your post, but it's also to engage with other companies within the industry. Again, whether it's a partner highlight, congratulate them. Whether it's industry news, you just simply comment "great article," and it will just keep your presence within that community online. It's very important to track analytics. When some people think, oh, I'm just going to post away, and that could be a great approach initially if you just need to get things started. But after a while, you want to see what content is working that you should keep for months to come, and where you might need to change your approach. So it's very important to track analytics, and platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. If you have business profiles, you will be able to gather that information, and you'll be able, again, to see what worked best and what may need to change. And then invest. Invest in social media. If you could set a small budget, I would recommend that. That could be not only for boosting posts that you may have or wanting to create an ad, but it might be if you don't have the bandwidth to create your own graphics or the bandwidth to create a content calendar, you might want to use those funds to have someone who can consult or have a temporary staff or part-time staff to help you out with that need. All right, and some key takeaways. Social media builds trust and visibility. As I mentioned, one thing when I'm researching a company, that's the first thing I search first. One of the 2 things I search for first is a website, and then if they have any social media branding and or presence. The more I see regarding this company, the more I'm going to be interested in either purchasing from the company or receiving that service. Making sure great visuals and consistency matters. So that again comes into if you have any type of branding guidelines, carrying that over to your graphics. Like for instance, I know ISFA just recently rolled out a new colorway that they'll be using more than likely in branding moving forward, whether that be websites, webinars, PowerPoint decks, over to their infographics that they have that they'll have for social media in the future. So that creates clear visual and consistency across the board. Mixing in education, again, those are tips, inspiration, and promotion. So inspiration could just be maybe a project that you did help someone out, or you had a very well written client testimonial that you can share that can inspire others to use your product and or service. And then um, promoting whatever offerings that you may have. Again, if it's a new release, a promotion of some sort, or attending an upcoming event where you may want to promote your booth or the event that you're sponsoring. And then you want to, again, track performance and adjust on a regular basis. I suggest if you forecast the beginning of the month to have all your content set, probably by the third, going into the last week of the month, start reviewing those posts that you made and see what any adjustments you have to make. All right. Now we're going to dive into the great world of Canva. This will be more so high level. I'm not going to dive into it as much as maybe my colleague Sam, who is the Canva whiz, would do, or something that she would possibly consider doing in the future with this series. All right, why use Canva? Canva is easy to use. It's a drag and drop design tool. There's no graphic experience needed. You could be literally logging on and learn that same day, or you could have years of experience. They actually have different levels of design that fits the right person. Um, you can have, it can be great for creating social media graphics, flyers, brochures, presentations, decks. They have such a huge catalog of resources for business owners. You'll have access to templates, brand kits, stock photos. Again, it's a great resource for brand owners. Getting started, first thing you need to do is create. You can create a free account, and then from there, of course, like most platforms, there are you can purchase like a pro version where you'll have more access to their catalog, but you can start with very minimal or no cost with the free account. Then you set it up. You set it up with your brand kit. That includes colors, fonts, logo, any type of branding guide. You set your brand kit up, and then from there, you'll be able to choose a template that fits your goal and the platform that you're going to try to use. So you can do a template, you can tell it for Instagram, you can tell it for LinkedIn, you can tell it for Facebook. And again, the designs, if not already created, will be pulled from your brand kit and color. So again, you can literally develop something of your own, and it's very much customizable with using your own content and images that will be later created or populated into a template. So setting up your brand kit. What is needed for that? You need to update your logo. And then if you don't have a logo, Canva also has a component within its platform where you can create a logo to either use moving forward, or at least something to start from. You could add brand colors. I added in what ISFA is going to be using now, which is blue, light blue, and orange. Monostrack is the recommended font style. It's the cleanest, easiest to read. I use that a lot. And then it saves you time once you set up this kit, and ensures consistency across all your designs. So it really puts those brand guidelines in place. And then Canva has some great templates for fabricators. They have templates where you can showcase your before and after projects, where you can have highlights, close-ups of different slabs, materials that you might be using, and featured materials. The client testimonials, that goes back to when I was saying taking the quote, turning it to a cool design or infographic. Tips of the week. If you have tips regarding Fabricator, or if you wanted to create a series based around a particular week, example is Safety Week. If you wanted to tie in Safety Week with fabrication, you could create a design with that. It would create so you create the design within template, then the template within Canva, and then you would transfer it over to LinkedIn or Instagram, and you there will add to your content that is needed to share. You can post frequently asked facts, maybe people that don't know what fabrication is. So you could do some quick facts, and you again can share on the platforms, as well as add it to your overall content calendar. And then something that I see highlighted among many industries is showcasing your team. That really shows the people behind the brand, the people that help the business keep going. So that really is important to spotlight and showcase. And I do know it gets a lot of engagement. So whether it's a new team member, highlighting a work milestone, highlighting an award that the team may have received, all that stuff is great. And they have templates for that within Canva. Some design tips when using Canva. Use clean layout and high quality photos. It's very important that your photos be of high quality, so that the design reads clear, and that it's not of a grainy quality. And then also that it can not only read clear, but others could use it if you decide to share it, whether you share it directly with someone or you create some type of little media kit that you want to share amongst your colleagues and partners. You stick to 2 to 3 graphic and brand colors. Anything more than that, the graphic gets lost. You keep it short and readable when creating the graphic, but if you need to explain something a little more, have that be in the actual body of your post. Drop the content in there, and then keep the actual image itself short and readable. Use frames, grids to structure the images, and then in Canva, you're able to save your favorites and to go back and tweak and update at a later time and to reuse it. Some pro tips. Mention keeping the layouts clean. Canva, like I had also mentioned before, it has a vast library of resources. So you can take time and explore the library, look for you can do with search words, whether it's tools within fabrication materials. If you want a stock photo of a kitchen, and you're looking for a green kitchen to do a comparison, they have so many resources to dive into. So I definitely suggest exploring that library. Adding your website and contact info to each post. That's just very important to do. When posting on social media, it just stays in forefront of those who are seeing that post. And then make sure that you download the correct format so that your post correctly. So whether it's a PNG, JPEG, or PDF for printing, it's definitely important that you make sure that you download what you created in the right format. Some key takeaways. Canva is a powerful tool and a great resource to have and to be able to utilize. It makes it easy to promote your work and expertise. If you sit there and take the time to create a cohesive branding, that just puts another layer of polish on on your social media. And again, ties in all of the branding. Consistency is key. Again, comes back to really honing in on your brand kit, creating that brand look, and then you're able to repeat that style. And then you start simple. Starting simple could be that client testimonial. I'll go back to that because that's something easy to do. You literally just copy and paste what was said and drop it into a template and it's created. You start there and then you can build your library from posts to flyers to presentation decks over time. All right, Lauren, I think I am ready to chat some more.
Okay. I wrote down a couple questions that I actually had. So you talked a little bit about LinkedIn and what days and times would be best to post. What about for Instagram and Facebook?
Yes, they also have dates and times to post. Usually for um, Instagram, you could post a little more so in the mornings. So before someone starts their day, they're just up sipping their morning coffee, scrolling. Typically around lunchtime, which is from 12 to 2, and then again in the evening, which is about from 6 to 10 p.m. And then you could also post on weekends on both of those platforms. And then with LinkedIn, it's more so you post between 1 and 3. Typically, it's 1 and 3 on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesdays, Thursdays, it's 2 to 4. And then later in the evening, there are some people that enjoy being on Instagram, or not Instagram, LinkedIn after hours, whether they're like just commenting on people's posts for engagement and so forth. So that would be the time difference, as well as the posting styles.
Okay, so you're thinking like, and I kind of agree with this as well, but so LinkedIn is people like usually are doing it through the week with their jobs as well. And so it's kind of usually Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 to 3, and then you said Tuesday, Thursday, 2 to 4, sometimes in the evening. But generally it's like associated with their work, their job, their profession that they're in.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. And then Instagram, Facebook is more of like a personal page that people have. And so that's why they're in the mornings before they go to work or in the evenings or when they're free on lunch.
Yep, correct.
Okay, cool. And maybe weekends for Facebook and Instagram. Okay. Cool.
Yes.
And then you can schedule those. So yeah, that works to be able to do weekends if you don't have someone full time on the pages.
Correct.
Okay.
And you
And
can schedule posts. When I mentioned of scheduling posts, you can schedule posts directly with LinkedIn, and then you would use a third-party platform like a Hootsuite for like Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook.
okay. Cool. And then something we've talked about in some of these past meetings we've done, but talking about, do we use the same content or is it different content Instagram to Facebook? And so I kind of wanted to know your thoughts on that.
Yes. So when it comes to content style that is posted, so for Instagram and Facebook, more so Instagram, straight to the point. You don't want a heavy graphic that has a lot of information on it. So say for instance, you're doing an event, it might be you have a graphic that is the geographical location. So prime example, I can talk about ISFA's annual conference. So ISFA's annual conference is going to be in Phoenix. I would have a graphic, a save the date graphic that has either the brand identity for the event. So if the event has its own branding, that would consist of that. Or if it doesn't, it would just literally be Camelback Mountain with the date and location. That's what you want on Instagram. And literally the caption would be like, meet us there, link in bio, that type of thing. If it's LinkedIn, might have the same graphic, but it would highlight the schedule at a glance. And that would be something that would go on LinkedIn.
And then, do you feel like people are spending more time looking at individual posts than on Facebook rather than Instagram, and that's why you want to keep it more simple?
Yeah, for Instagram, people are just scrolling. They're
Yeah.
not, they're for LinkedIn, people are looking to learn either more about the industry that they're currently in or another industry, or they want to build their network. So they're taking that time to find those right events to connect with people. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. So you're lumping Instagram and Facebook kind of into its own one category together. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. And I mean, I would agree with that. I feel like we do generally use similar content with Instagram and Facebook when we're posting to those. Um, but yeah, that makes sense. And then I wanted to get a recommendation on where you have like the best content calendars. So are you just making an Excel version of a content calendar, or how does that look
Yeah.
in
So
your mind?
I am still old school as far as I do use Excel when creating a content calendar. It's just a file that's most people know. So if I'm sharing it with someone, it's easily they can understand and read it. But there are templates out there, and actually Canva has. If you go on Canva and you look for content calendar template, they have some available. But I'm old school as far as just using an Excel file.
Cool. Yeah, and Canva I think does also in their paid version has a content calendar, but in my opinion it's not super like easy to use, and it doesn't work well like in what you can like as far as details for the post, getting approval on the
Correct.
post. So
Correct.
I
Yeah.
don't really love that, but yeah, if you're like need just like a calendar looking thing on Canva, you could definitely probably search those templates and find something.
Yeah.
Those are all of my questions. I don't know if anyone in the crowd has anything else or wants to chat anything or come off mute, but I hope that we covered what everyone's kind of interested in and interested in expanding within their marketing teams and whatnot. So, but if anyone has any other questions, go ahead. Samantha, do you have anything or tips on Canva that you can share?
Yeah. Well, I was also just thinking about Hootsuite too. Like I think Hootsuite's a great addition to your social media or anything like Hootsuite. It doesn't have to be Hootsuite, but just something that helps you schedule your post. It helps you organize. Like I believe it also has a content calendar. I also for ISFA use Excel. Just because of what else I do. I just have everything for our marketing in Excel. So I've used like some conditional formatting too, which is nice. But Hootsuite does have that opportunity with the calendar. So you can see it like the month view, you can see, and then it also recommends times to post too. So like based off of like the feedback you're getting, the engagement, you can see best recommended times to post. So and then Hootsuite is, if you guys don't know what it is, it's just a program for you to schedule your social media posts. So you can schedule to Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, all of those social media platforms at one time. And then you can do it the whole month. You could do the week. You could do that day. So it just kind of gives you that option with that. And then
There's
with
a paid version for that and also a free version, I think, right?
I think so too. Of
Okay.
course, we have the paid version, so
Yeah.
that's what I work
I
with.
think if
But
you, yeah,
I believe they also have a free version.
yeah,
Of course, you probably don't get quite
if you want
all.
to start.
hmm But then it also will give you analytics. So you can dive deep in how many new followers you have, what post got the best engagement, and then you can kind of start tailoring your social media to what's working best for your followers.
Do you have experience using the content calendar that's within Canva as well? Or have you looked at that at all?
I haven't, just because I do use Excel. And then I know with Canva too, you can actually upload right to your social media platform. So you can actually link your social media to Canva and you can just upload right from Canva. But I just don't use that because I use Hootsuite. So
Mhm.
I just don't have any experience actually using it.
Okay.
But Canva
But
is a really great tool.
yeah, I was gonna say you said you're the whiz at it.
I don't know if I would
That's
call myself
awesome.
the whiz, but I do use it so much. I use it for, and it's nice too because it's not just social media that you have to use it for. Like if you are doing, like if you want to do a promotion, you can create flyers. You can do your social media. You can, like Lauren said, create logos. You can create your business cards. So there's just a lot of business tools within Canva. So it's, if you're looking to get the pro version, think of it as more for all types of business activities, not just social media.
Yeah,
And the
I
pro
think
version isn't expensive. I think I pay like $14 a month for the pro version. And definitely get my
mhm,
$14 worth. So
yeah,
Yeah.
likewise. I was gonna say also within there, I think it was like one of their webinars that Canva did. They talked about, yeah, they have sometimes every department part of it and like using a specific part of Canva, which I think is great. And then like your sales team can access where they can print their own business cards because you can also print from Canva, which is really great. So similar to like people will use Vistaprint, but you can also use Canva. And I've actually directly printed from there before and they print
It's,
great. So
yeah, I would say I've always had really great quality from printing
mhm.
from Canva. And the nice thing too is when you do buy the pro version is that you can have teams, right? So you have like your business
Mhm.
account and then your team can each have their own account too, which is nice. So you can have like your marketing person have an account. You can have your sales team have an account. So if they want to create like a promotional flyer, they can do that.
Yeah, I love that.
It's very nice.
yeah, they
We
have
love
other
Canva.
file types in there too. They have, stuff to help with tracking, and so yeah, any team can use it.
Mhm.
It just had started out as more so a design platform, but any department can use it.
And
You
it's
could
just so
also,
user friendly.
it is, yeah. Did you know you could also create swag on there? So like
Mhm.
t-shirts, and
I
so
have
if you
seen
want to
that.
get your team t-shirts, you can create your own t-shirts on there. So that's
Have
kind
you printed from with clothing? Cool.
of, I have, and actually the t-shirts lasted really well. I
Oh,
liked them
good.
actually. Like the material of the shirt was nice.
And I feel like the pricing is generally decent.
Yeah, I would say so too.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
Cool. I got so many good takeaways from what you have shared with us today. Do you have a little recap for us?
Oh, well, yes.
Or I can.
Yeah, I guess my a quick recap or just reiterating some of the takeaways is definitely use social media. It's worth the time and effort. It definitely will help with your brand presence. Consistency is key, so definitely take the time to not only make those designs and templates, but to create that content calendar. It might be some grunt work in the beginning, but once you get it rolling, and get into the rhythm of things and kind of have your analytics at a view, you'll be able to see what works, and you'll literally be able to plug and play for months, if not years to come. And then definitely use Canva as a great resource to build your brand. Again, there is the templates that we mentioned regarding social media, PowerPoint decks. You can also create flyers, ads, and as Sam just mentioned, swag items, which is cool. So I would definitely, again, use social media and use Canva. It's great for your business.
Awesome. Yeah, I wanted to add, I really loved the like ideas of themes you can use for social media content that you gave us, and then just like, yeah, types of posts that you recommended. Like, I feel like sometimes it can get stagnant. And so I think having some fresh ideas is really great. And you definitely brought a lot of those. And then, yeah, your little tips on Canva are great. I love everything you shared with us today. It was great.
Well,
Yeah. And then we just wanted to have a reminder for everyone here that a video recording of this call and a white paper recap will follow via email for our ISFA members exclusively, and then it will also be available on their platform for access. So keep a lookout for that. I know this is like their new platform that they're coming out with. And then for the next call, we're going to be doing, it's called Crushing It on LinkedIn. So just going into more depth within LinkedIn B2B marketing that connects. That'll be on July 29th, and we will be hearing from Kristen from Craig Creative and Talent, and she'll be joining us, and it'll take place at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 11 a.m. Pacific. So same time as today. And then we'll email everyone on this call to sign up for the next call, and then just watch for those ISFA emails as well. But thank you, Lauren, and everyone that attended today. We're excited about this new era of this call for marketing for fabricators and to be able to grow our businesses. Thank you for the new knowledge you shared with us and perspective. I personally learned a lot today, so I think it's great, but we will see you all next time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.